Hey there, movie fans! Welcome to the Blues of September 2015. Of course, I'm going to show you all of the movies that I've gotten over the month of September. But first, as you know, I'm going to give a shout out, and this time it is to a country fellow of mine whom I did not know before, and he's been on YouTube for quite some time. But it wasn't until I saw an unboxing video by Toddy Walnuts that I got to know about him. Todd won a contest from this person, and this person's YouTube channel's name is Dennis Reviews. He's a very nice guy. He lives in Amsterdam, but he's originally from The Hague. He has a great looking horror collection. And he recently received 300 subscribers, so congratulations on that, Dennis. And I hope you will get many, many more. So hit the link below. Go to the channel. Show him some support and some love, and hit the sub button, or else you will regret it. Dennis Reviews. Go check him out. Okay, first up are the DVDs that I'm going to show you. And the first two are The Hunted and The Three Musketeers. I got these both for €5. Not a bad deal at all. I always liked this version of The Three Musketeers, by the way. Had some good actors in it, like Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I always was entertained by this. And this is a good movie by William Friedkin. Not necessarily one of his best ones, but definitely not one of his worst ones either. The Hunted. So a nice score here. And speaking of a nice score, I got these two for €3 together. €3. That's about 50 cents per disc, which is insane. I got these from a local pawn shop. The Illusionist. I've seen this a long time ago. I remember it was a good movie. Not as good as The Prestige, which is a similar movie that came out around the same time as The Illusionist. But, for 50 cents, I cannot complain. And then I saw this one. This was, it's used, but it's in really good condition. The Prophecy, the complete collection. The first three stars Christopher Walken. I've only seen the first one, though. Don't remember if I've ever seen the second one. I don't think I have. But it is a very nice release. Got all the disc housed inside this Digi pack. And here is the other side of the Digi pack. I don't expect 4 and 5 to be any good, even though 4 has Doug Bradley in it, and Tony Todd is in 5, so that might be a little worthwhile. But, for €2.50, I cannot complain. Okay, on to the Blu-rays, and the first one is Ironclad. I got this in a trade. This is a very good and insane medieval bloodfest spectacle. Absolutely loved it. Can't wait to see it again. Next is Wormwood, Road of the Dead. This is just a very entertaining, low budget, post-apocalyptic zombie exploitation madness. I was very entertained by this. And it has some original ideas as well, ideas that I have not seen in zombie movies before. Like, for example, cars running on zombies. I thought that was a brilliant idea. But this is a fine release by Scream Factory, by the way. It also comes with the alternative artwork, which I like very much. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's described as Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead. Now, I understand Mad Max, but Dawn of the Dead, I don't know. The zombies from Dawn of the Dead looks a lot different than the zombies in this movie. But speaking of Mad Max, I ordered the steelbook of Mad Max Fury Road, but it hasn't arrived yet, which kind of pisses me off because I really want to see the movie again. But I guess I have to wait a little longer for it. Now, here is a movie I've always had a soft spot for, The Last Dragon. Seen this hundreds of times during my childhood. When I was a kid, I wanted to be Bruce Lee. You know, like many other kids who grew up in the 70s and the 80s. You know, Bruce Lee was the man back then. He still is the man, by the way. And that's how I identified myself with the main character, Leroy, because he wanted to be Bruce Lee. And I wanted Vanity to become my woman. But unfortunately, I did not become Bruce Lee, nor did Vanity ever become my woman. Oh well, that's life. But one thing did came true though. They put out The Last Dragon on Blu-ray. And I seriously never thought they were ever going to do that. So I am a very happy kid again. Now here are 3 movies I seriously never thought would ever see the light of day on Blu-ray either. This is the Vlodder trilogy, 3 Dutch films that were very popular in the Netherlands. They still are very popular. And you know, thanks to Germany, it has gotten a Blu-ray release. This will never get a Blu-ray release in the Netherlands, by the way. I don't think the Dutch, you know, film companies don't care about physical media that much. That's why I buy, you know, most of the Blu-rays and DVDs that I buy are imports. But anyway, this I think you can describe this as the Dutch answer to the Beverly Hillbillies. You know, about a poor family who are going to live in this neighborhood, you know, full of rich people. Only difference is that this is, you know, this family is very asocial, you know, very rude, very vulgar. So nothing like the Beverly Hillbillies. But I'm glad that this has gotten a Blu-ray release, even though the transfers aren't really that good. I mean, they're kind of disappointing, to be honest. I actually read on a forum somewhere that the first Dutch DVD release of the first movie has a better transfer than this Blu-ray. But yeah, they're not the worst transfers in the world, but not exactly what you might call Blu-ray worthy. But still, you know, I am glad to finally have these Dutch classics in my collection. Now here is a wonderful release by Arrow Academy. My Darling Clementine, a terrific western by John Ford with Henry Fonda as Wyatt Earp. Comes with this, you know, very nice slipcase. Here is the Blu-ray. Also had the you know, alternative artwork. There's a booklet inside, and it contains 2 versions of the movie. The first one is the theatrical cut, which I believe is the version that John Ford preferred. And now the other disc has the longer pre-release version, and it also has a bonus movie, Frontier Marshal, with Randolph Scott as Wyatt Earp. I haven't seen that one yet though. But this is just a, you know, a fine release by Arrow once again. I mean, just look at the special features on here. A lot of great special features. Yeah, great release of a fantastic film. Okay, the next Blu-rays I'm going to show you I got from the Arrow sale, and the first one is this gorgeous looking steelbook of Blood and Black Lace. And if I move it a little to the light, you can see the name of the movie. I love how they've done that. And also the name of the director there, Mario Bava. Very gorgeous steelbook, this one. Nice artwork on the back there. And a beautiful artwork on the inside as well. And of course it also comes with the booklet with a lot of infos and essays and what have you. Truly a magnificent release by Arrow, and I cannot wait to see the movie. Also grabbed this one, Deadly Blessing by Wes Craven. Another fine release. And there's another Wes Craven jam, The People Under the Stairs. With the booklet, of course. And the alternative artwork right here. Network, which is such a phenomenal film. Absolutely a phenomenal film. Is the alternative artwork, which I like, by the way. Nice artwork. And the booklet as well. Faye Dunaway, you saw there, and William Holden. Peter Vince, an incredible performance by him. He won an Oscar for this, but he died, before he won it, which is too bad. He was incredible in this film, absolutely. And the last one I got from the Arrow sale is Brenna to Kill with Joe Cicito. I've becoming a fan of this man after I saw him in Massacre Gun and Retaliation. And yeah, I can't wait to check this movie out. This looks really, really good. Really like the artwork, by the way. With the butterflies and all that. I picked up two Blu-rays from Twilight Time. The first one is the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Really, really good film, this one. Directed by Roger Corman. This is his first and only film that he has made for a major studio. And 20th Century Fox, by the way. And Fox was very happy with him because he managed to make this film way under budget. And they wanted him to direct another film, but he declined, and he started his own production company instead, which became New World Pictures. Some people say that if this movie was never made, then The Godfather was never made. I'm not really sure about that, but I do believe that this movie, along with Bonnie and Clyde, has reinvented the gangster genre. I mean, since the gangster films really became much more grittier and dirtier and uglier and bloodier, of course, thanks to this one and Bonnie and Clyde. But very good film. Great performances, by the way, also by Jason Robards as Al Capone. And the other Twilight Time Blu-ray that I've gotten is House of Bamboo, also a gangster film. Directed by the great Sam Fuller. This is actually an upgrade, by the way, because I have I have it on DVD as well, but I just wanted to get this on Blu-ray, just to see what the transfer is like. Well, not because of the transfer, but because of the movie as well. Of course, it's a really good film, but the transfer on this Blu-ray looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's a great film. Great performances also by Robert Ryan, who kind of plays the villain in this film. Yeah, really good. Very nice release. Also a nice picture at the back there. This is from the climax at the end, which is really good. Now, when I was ordering those two Twilight Time Blu-rays, I came across this one, to my surprise, on Screen Archives, because I thought this was way out of print. It's Neon Maniacs, by the way. And I don't know if they still have some copies left, or if this is a re-release. I'm not really sure, but I don't really care about it either. I'm glad to have this, by the way, because I wanted to get this on Blu-ray, but it was out of print and it was going for crazy money, and I didn't want to pay, a huge amount of money for this. But yeah, this is just a fun 80s cheese, and I think it's still available on Screen Archive. So if you want to get this movie on Blu, better get it now before it's too late. Neon Maniacs. And here's another movie that I thought was out of print, but there were still some copies left on diabolicdvd.com. This is The Day of the Animals. I enjoyed it a lot, by the way. Really liked this. Many people mistaken this as a sequel to Grizzly, which is kind of understandable. I mean, the director of both films are the same. William Girdler. Some of the actors are the same, like Christopher George and Richard Jaco, and also the grizzly bear is the same in both movies. But it's not a sequel to a Grizzly. Next is Hardware. I finally got this. This had been on my wish list for a long time, but decided to finally pick it up. This is such a really good science fiction horror film from the early 90s. Not very fond of the front cover artwork, to be honest. I wish they used the original artwork instead, because I think that looks a lot cooler than this one. But what can I do? It's the movie that counts eventually. And this is, of course, the first movie by Richard Stanley, who went on to make Dust Devil, and he was trying to make Island of Dr. Moreau, but unfortunately he was never given the chance to do that. Speaking of which, this is the documentary about Richard Stanley's failed attempt to realize his dream project, Lost Soul, The Doomed Journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau. This is such a fantastic documentary. This is, in my opinion, one of the best documentaries I have seen about filmmaking. I would say it is up there along with Hearts of Darkness, a filmmaker's apocalypse, which is about the making of Apocalypse Now. I was very entertained and fascinated by Lost Soul. And I felt sorry for Richard Stanley. He's such a likable guy, very interesting guy, eccentric, but still likable and interesting. And I love listening to him, even though he talks a little too fast. Well, maybe that's a little exaggerating, but I'm glad this Blu-ray has subtitles, or else I would not know what he was saying most of the time. But yeah, it's such a shame that he was treated this way. I mean, he was fired after 4 days of shooting, and I think the moment when Marlon Brando came on board this movie was really the moment when the problems emerges and when the film's budget became higher and higher. Not that I would blame Brando alone for this. I mean, there's such a lot of things that went wrong all at once. Brando has something terrible has happened in his personal life, and when he came back after that, Brando always had this reputation of being difficult, and some of the things that he did on this film, or on the set of this film, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he was really crazy or that he just liked to fuck people over. I think it's a combination of the two. But anyway, I would definitely recommend checking this documentary out, and I would certainly recommend getting this 3-disc House of Pain edition. This is such a wonderful release by Severin. Comes with the documentary on Blu-ray. It has the H.G. Wells files, DVD, and it also has Richard Stanley reads The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. And here you can see an artwork that Stanley has made for his vision of the movie. It looks very nice. Yeah, great features. Also has the recently discovered 1921 Signer version from Germany. But anyway, a fantastic documentary about one of the biggest stinkers from the sewers of Hollywood, Lost Soul. And speaking of which, Here is the infamous movie itself. Now you're probably wondering, why did I even bought this movie in the first place? Well, the only excuse that I have is that I secretly enjoy it. Just don't tell anybody else about it. But it's also a very funny movie. I mean, I don't think it was intended to be funny, but the scenes with Brando and that little guy, hang on, this guy, Mini-Me, that's how I like to call him. And in fact, he is the original Mini-Me, because Mike Myers, when he was doing Austin Powers, he came up with the idea of Mini-Me from this movie. Or maybe I should say he stole the idea of Mini-Me from this movie. But anyway, the scenes with Brando and Mini-Me, they are very funny. Try to watch those scenes with a straight face. I guarantee you cannot do that. John Frankenheimer is the director who took over from Richard Stanley, and I'm a big fan of Frankenheimer. He made some great films in his career, and you cannot really blame him for this movie. I mean, he came on board during production, and he might not be the nicest guy. I remember Fairuza Balk in the documentary says that she could not get along with him, but he had to come up with quick solutions to many problems, and on top of that, he had to work with these two egos. So you cannot really blame him for this. I think he did the best that he could. And this is not the first movie where Frankenheimer had to take over the directorial duties. He did it twice before on Birdman of Alcatraz and The Train, two magnificent films with Burt Lancaster. And speaking of Burt Lancaster, he plays Dr. Moreau in this version from 1977, which is a good one. Less entertaining than the Frankenheimer version, to be honest, but still pretty good. Now, if you compare this movie with the Frankenheimer version and also with the 1932 version, Island of Lost Souls, and also with the 1921 silent version from Germany, you noticed that the portrayals of Dr. Moreau is very different. Obviously, he's being played by a different actor, but I'm talking about the character of Dr. Moreau is very different, and I think Burt Lancaster's portrayal of Moreau is very faithful, or the most faithful to the book, even though I do have to admit I've never read the book. I'm just assuming it's the most faithful portrayal of the character. But I really ought to read the book sometimes by H.G. Wells. And last but not least, I got the Film Arena exclusive Blu-ray set of Chappie, science fiction action movie by Neil Blomkamp, who also directed District 9 and Elysium. And I think this is his weakest movie so far, but still very enjoyable. The CGI is very top-notch, I would say, and it has some great moments in the movie. And I like the character of Chappie. He's kind of like the Johnny Five of the 21st century. And this is a wonderful release by Film Arena. It comes in this, it's a little embossed, you can see here. And this is Chappie, by the way, before he became Chappie. And on the other side is the Moose, which is, the a little bit like Ad 209 from RoboCop, although not exactly. But this is a robot that was designed by Hugh Jackman's character. Anyway, let me show you what the contents are. There's a booklet, I'll show you that in a minute. Here is the lenticular magnet. You can see this is the police droid, and this is the test droid. Very nice how they have done that. Take away the magnet, and this is the steelbook, which is the same one as all the other steelbooks out there. Comes with 2 discs, the Blu-ray with the movie and a bonus disc. Very nice artwork on the disc itself. and of course on the inside of this steelbook. It also comes with these stickers, which looks very nice. The moose. And these are some character cards. Well, although he's not a character from the movie, but he's the director, Neil Blomkamp. But these are the characters from the movies. And Sigourney Weaver. They're going to be working together again, by the way, on the next Alien movie. So I'm very much looking forward to that one. It was going to be a follow-up to Aliens, you know. So they're kind of ignoring Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection in a way. But I'm curious how they are going to pull that off. And here is a picture book. This is Yolandi. This is the other half of a rap group called The Antwoord, which is South African for The Answer. And it's a little bit like the Dutch version, only it's, a little different. We say it as Het Antwoord, but Dutch and South African, or South Afrikaans as they originally say it, it's almost the same language. Not entirely, but almost the same. Oh yeah, this guy is also part of that rap group, The Antwoord, and he appears to be a real asshole. He was he was constantly telling other people how to do their job, actors, crew members, and he was harassing people. And I read somewhere that Hugh Jackman could not stand the guy. We want to stay away from him as far as possible. But yeah, this is another fine release from Film Arena, Chappie. Very nice. Anyway, that is it for this September update. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.